and we have worked on, right? I remember I first saw this technique from Mike Page, who's one of my original coaches, you know, and just saw him this past weekend. We were in each other's weddings, right? So, and he's a second-degree black belt, great, competed Masters Worlds. And Justin and I were there last year. We let him use our tub so he could cut weight. I dried the sweat out of his eye socket. That's how close we are, you know? I was like, bro, let me, like he was sweating, so he's laying there sweating so much his eyeball is filled up with like water. Oh. Right? I was like, let me get that for you, bro. But he had cut a little weight. That's the competitor life, right? So Mike is the first person to show me this, and you can grab the belt on this definitely, right? But we did work this also at the last Hickson lesson. And it's just walking away from them. Then another thing, people will switch to reverse Kesa-Gatame. Like they're gonna step over to mount to stop a lot of this underhook game, right? Now I don't wanna ever let my elbow get compressed.
Who is it?
Okay, so how I can put me in I'm out here. So people will like look at my frame here. People will start kind of sprawling into this hip and tilting other way. Yes, like that. See, and come back. Do that same thing, but see, I had to have a good frame there. People will be doing that. Do it again, and that's kind of elbow locking me a little bit. Yeah, stay right on top of this. Just compressing. Okay, so people will drop down the hip to do that. Right? That's when I do this. Okay, let's get in that same underhook position. So if he starts trying to kill my frame here, I grab the hip when he does that, and I can bridge over. Okay? It's a timing aspect. Like, if you drop all the way to reverse that, so if he's here and he's stepping to mount, I'll end up in his guard. Okay? Here's another purpose of this underhook. Drop to reverse Kesa. Okay? Start trying to punch me in the stuff. Right. So, anytime you feel off of this little series we're doing, you're trying to get here, and he starts dropping his hip down, grab his hip and pull it down to the mat. And then I'm doing that in conjunction with this, which will allow me to get variations of side control. Or at the very least, I end up in his guard, but I'm on top, and I've got options. Okay, so they may switch their hips. And this is the other one I was talking about. Mike was the first one to show me, right? Is you get on your side and you just kind of hear it. But Howie doesn't have a lot of good options if he knows all the stuff we did in class. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come down here and look, I need to come up to my knees, but I'm gonna pinch my elbows down when I do that. Okay, that way I get shoulder connection here. Then I'm going to the side. If he posts, I go through it. Right? So just get that front headlock situation when you start running this underhook will happen. Because it'll happen even after you go belly down. Like the headlock will happen after you go belly down. When people start losing position, they will grab onto things. Right? So just, thinking about running those protocols is vitally important, right? So I'll show this same series again in next week's class, right? But this is exactly what we've been working in the evening class. And like, other than the pulling the hip down, and that came up at the Hickson private, we worked like 45 minutes of this or something at the Hickson private. Maybe not that, but we worked on the side escapes. It came up, and it's just like the first time I was there, the headlock escapes came up. The headlock escape I brought up today didn't come up there, but it's come up recently in class, and I did it with them last time I was out there, right? So, and I will say when people start losing position, that's when a trained person still will grab onto your head, right? Like, question, put me in a knee tap. Say he came up from half guard, he's just doing this, so yeah, take me over. We're in a headlock, right? And if we don't know the proper protocols to run, we can get rolled over, right? So we'll keep this conversation going, right? And we'll do questions if we have them.
Yes.
All right.